Hey, hi guys. I think we're waiting for someone from CMEDU. Anyone here?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
Hi.
Gitika ma'am. This is Sukhada from CMEDU Media Studies Department.
Hi.
Hi. So we are just waiting. We'll just wait for 2-3 minutes for rest of the students to join.
Yeah,
And
sure.
then we can just, I will just introduce you to students and then over to you, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. Don't call me ma'am. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
wait. Yeah.
Hi. So we would just begin with the discussion session on today's discussion session on advertisement production. So all the students, please welcome Gitika Sood. I'll just introduce her. After completing her graduation in communication studies from Mount Carmel College and masters in filmmaking from Kingston University, London, Gitika Sood began her career as an intern as a creative assistant to the producers of a leading Bollywood film production company in Mumbai, like Balaji Motion Productions. With a career spanning 8 years and still going, she attained excessive experience in film production, execution, distribution, and she understood the ropes of working on a film from its script stage to the screen. She now works with India's leading digital agency, Dentsu Web Chutney, as an associate creative director in the film's team. So I'm glad to welcome Gitika and students. Over to Gitika. Students, here you can just after the session, you are also welcome to ask questions to discuss about the session. Over to you, Gitika.
Hi guys. Hi. No formality. I was a student many years ago. Unfortunately, I am old now. But I always wanted someone to like guide me on what to do next or what is it like out there. So I always I mean, I respect all your choices because I kind of did the same thing. I wanted to study first and then see how the world outside is. I'm glad I went to film school. I got some sort of formal training, and it actually helped me nurture. I mean, just be prepared for the world out there. But there's nothing more than like actually learning on the job. It made me aware of like a lot more as to what the kind of job opportunities there were back then, and how you can grow and mold yourself even further. Just a little bit about me. I'm sorry if didn't catch your name. The person who introduced me.
Sukhada.
Sukhada. Hi.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hi.
So Sukhada introduced me a little bit. I'll just give you a broader idea. I went to film. I mean, I'm from Bangalore. I studied in Mount Carmel College. Did my bachelor's in communication studies. There we had one semester for photography and film, and like most of us, I was a bit lost as to what can I do or what is there to do. And when I literally touched a camera, even though I was very fond of one when I was a kid and while growing up, photography really caught my eye, and filmmaking also. So we made a short film, we made a long format film, and that ended up being the basis for my film that I submitted for film school, and they took me in Kingston University in London. There it was like, hey Sushant, hi. I can see that she's there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So this guy is the one who introduced me to CMEDU and really broadened my horizons in terms of what can I offer or what can I bring. I mean, what can I at least gain, how you guys can also gain from like little bit of my learnings in life. So thank you, Sushant. And thank you for lending me your ears for how much ever time we have. I've come a little prepared, but I would like to tell you all about where I am at now and how it can also help you guys understand film production and advertising production. As soon as I was done with film school, I joined Balaji Motion Pictures totally by fluke. Did not know where I was applying, but I took myself very seriously. I went into Balaji with a show reel, which I cut myself, which had a lot of documentary videos, a lot of just excerpts from everything that I had done during film school, narrative, documentary, experimental. I was very kicked about making experimental films, which me, my dad, my parents, nobody understood. They would tell me, please explain the film to me when it's over. So yeah, I did a lot of that. took my show reel and my CV. I had done a lot of like internships by then, so that also got me into the door. As a creative assistant in Balaji, I was meant to just read scripts. The first 6 months was just reading scripts that would be sent to the producer. As a creative assistant to the producer, my job was to align what was going on floors. That means the films that were being made by Balaji, what stage of production were they in, and how I could assist the producer into telling them, like, are we in budget? Is the cast available? Are we looking at the contract right? Are they going to, literally the minutest of tasks that you could get, I would just latch on and take. So don't ever be shy. Just be like, I can do it. So that was one thing I was always there for. Be bankable, firstly. So yeah, responsible and bankable, because yeah, don't alienate your bosses. That's what I learned. That's what I learned very early on. So yeah, I did a Balaji. I worked on a couple of films. I got to work on Main Tera Hero with Varun Dhawan, David Dhawan. David sir used to call me early in the morning to check on the post-production stage that the films were in. We would take the reels, each reel would go into sound design, would go into trailer design, would go into dubbing. It would be in different stages, and you had to be like that one person with like a big sheet knowing exactly which reel is at what stage, so that it could complete post in time for release. So that's something that I might be saying it here and there everywhere, but I'm just trying to tell you that as a creative assistant, as an intern, you can't pick what you get to do, but you get to at least see the entire gamut of filmmaking from a very production side of things, not the creative, but as much production as means time management, resources management, figuring out the post-production process. And also I got to see the shoot of several other films like Azhar, like Kya Cool Hai Hum Part 3, which is a very funny film, but yeah, I'm not that proud. There's Kya Cool Hai Hum Part 3, there's Shaadi Ke Side Effects, there was a film by Ken Ghosh, which did not see a release, but yes, we were there from script to screen stage of many films that I got to work on. And I'm very absolutely lucky to have seen the entire stage from script to screen for films. Coming back to Bangalore was an option, and in late 2018, I was back in Bangalore. So after like 5 years of working in Mumbai, I was back in Bangalore. Did not know the language, don't know Kannada that well. I can fight with people in Kannada, but I do not know Kannada that well. So I did not see the option of working in Kannada film industry as so lucrative, only because didn't want to be completely alien to the language. My friends have actually made Kannada films, so that's something that I got to see and enjoy. But they're also trying to go in the independent zone, for not the mainstream Kannada filmmaking zone. And kudos to them also. So what I ended up doing was move base to advertising. In advertising, again, a whole new structure. It is not a long format structure. You do not get like 3 to 6 months to develop a script, to hone, like know your cast, know your crew, know your contracts, know everything. With advertising, it's literally you get a go ahead from your client that you are, I will explain this step by step, obviously, but advertising for me was a whole new structure of work, which is we had to go. I mean, it would be great if I see some faces, not Sushant, it's fine, but since I'm just talking to like a lot of animators right now, so that is really cool. But yes, what happened was advertising, I can tell you one by one how it is made and structured, but I am literally 2.5, 3 years old in this field as well. I will like to show you some things that I have prepared that will give you an idea of what advertising is like and the kind of structure that we follow when it comes to making of advertising films. Just a second. Can anyone help me with sharing screen option? Is it there?
It's there down in the middle.
I will just make you host, Geetika. One second.
Yes, yeah, I can't see it.
And the other side of things is Gitika is hardworking as like no tomorrow. If I got an opportunity to work on a few places here and there, but then she's
I
hardworking and like crazy. That's one contributing factor that you like don't forget.
I still can't see it. The share screen option. I got it. I got it. Thanks. Anything visible now?
No. No, ma'am.
Okay. If you guys have any questions so far, if I'm trailing left, right, and center, you can stop me. It's perfectly fine until I figure this out. This is not the same batch that I got to interact with, no, Sushant?
No. This is a different batch altogether. This is that batch I think passed out.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah. Yeah, the film students, right?
Mm.
Now this is a mix of all photography, film, and sound.
Oh, cool. Anyone here who's interested in like advertising in general? Ah, shit. I'll have to leave the meeting and come back again
What?
to share my screen. That's what it's saying. I'll be right
What is
back.
it? Yeah. Guys, Shashwati, can you pause the recording?
Yes. Yes, this meeting is recorded.
Just pause it, no?
I am back. Just a sec. Oh, sorry. Wrong screen, right?
Yeah, we can see this.
Please.
Let's stop sharing.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, wait. Now?
Yeah, perfect.
So just giving you guys an outline, filmmaking works. I mean, videos are one way that people try to communicate their brand goals, brand ideas, brand notions, only because somehow video seems to get more return on investment. Return on investment is ROI, very calculated data, science specific data that says that video seems to have more draw for people who are, people for you to be able to watch. Sorry, I'll start again. So people generally try to invest as brands try to invest in videos because they seem to have more ROI in terms of the buck spent on promoting of video on your social networks, on your TV spots. It seems to get more attention, more eyes, because people love the visual medium. Photography, yes, but somehow with the right kind of advertising, with the right kind of look and feel, a video seems to attract more attention of your audiences. Hello?
Yeah, ma'am, we can.
Yeah, sorry. I've lost the, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a, I've lost the call screen. So I'm not sure where it is. All right, no
Oh, no,
worries.
we are here.
Try
Okay.
pressing Alt tab.
Alt tab.
Yeah, it will show you everything that's open.
Oh, that's fine. That I know, but I'm just trying to see where this screen is. Okay, no worries. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've just found a really good what do you call it, statistic based video, which is saying why videos seem to be working as a marketing tool. Just going to play this out for everyone. Cool. So
What does it mean by saying put a play button on your next video? What is that supposed to
play
mean?
button means if you just put a play button and it's actually a video, you will get a lot more views than any other platform, like any other medium of like storytelling out there. So they're trying to move you or sway you towards making more videos to grab more audiences. That's what they mean. So a play button somehow makes people want to just scroll and watch is what I mean. Some of this is debatable only because 2020, the kind of year that we all had, you wouldn't think that a statistic would tell you that videos seem to still be doing really well. But As a marketer, as a advertising professional that I've been working in an advertising field, I actually saw a sway in lesser shoots, obviously, because we did not have hands and legs on set, but we actually saw a lot more to do with 2D and 3D animation than ever before. And somehow the kind of films that we ended up making, and I'm talking from personal experience, we ended up making a lot more infographics, a lot more listicles, a lot more stock-based videos, which went to your Getty images, which went to your Shutterstock, which went to a lot more free stock footages, Pexels, all of these video platforms ended up using just to be able to convey a brand idea, a brand thought, a brand script, whichever came our way. So yes, it's actually saw this way to videos a lot more. People were at home. People were maybe, I mean, no, I'm not being insensitive, I hope, but they did, whoever had the means to, they were able to just do the endless scroll and actually watch videos and pass time. So that's not the only reason that video works, not because of time in hand, but video seems to have a grab and like it retains more attention than any other mediums of like storytelling for brands. I will back to my presentation and just show you guys the different types of videos, like the like this video showed you. Just a second. Yeah. So I've had the chance to, I'm not sure about all of you, but I've had the chance to work on all these types of videos that marketers end up using: presentations, ads, explainers, social proof, infographics, polls and questions, listicles, editorials. Presentations, again, it could be just for a presentation, or it could be just videos that are presenting like an idea to their customers. Ads, like the ads that you see on social media platforms, on TV, on what do you call it, any other like OTT platforms, or branding that people end up using in shows, like in film branding. Explainers, that's a lot to do. I mean, we also got to work on those, which were 2D and 3D based infographics, using infographics or using characters. We got to do a lot of explainers. Social proof is nothing but, what do you call it? Social proof is
Testimonials?
Yes, thank you. Social proof is testimonials. Infographics, again, just like we did this for Twitter, where we were telling people how many number of people were using Twitter for their brand exercises, like to know about their brand, how many people were talking about their brand on Twitter. Polls and questions, again, what you do on Instagram. A lot of them, these are more scrollable content, like you could just hit next and you would see what's there in the brand. And listicles, editorials, you would see this a lot in the channel that's on Facebook. You will see this a lot on Instagram as well, about what can you do to spend your Sunday afternoon at home. And then you would see these videos just come up and go with some sort of supers or text on screen. So there are many types of ways that you can use videos, and these are some of them. If you guys have worked on any of these or have questions on any of these, I'll be happy to answer them. Anything so far?
All good.
Cool. So at what stage does the execution come to you? I'm now going to be talking in terms of a production person, which I have primarily been. These are stages that I at least did not know of 2 years ago. Obviously you have an idea, but that many stages. I honestly did not know there are. So when I came across this graph, I was literally like mind blown. I hope you guys appreciate it. So this pyramid on your left says execution is the first thing that an audience sees. That's the first thing that we have ever seen of anything. But what goes behind it is a lot of layers. That is your campaign, your advertising idea, your media, advertising budget, tone of voice, proposition or benefit, advertising objective, target market, competition, product or service, client or brand, business plan or idea. So somewhere, let me give an idea or an example. Suppose we're talking about Dunzo, and I've never worked with Dunzo, so do not hold me. I'm not trying to be accurate. I'm just giving an example. Suppose we're talking about Dunzo, and I'm sure everyone's used it. What is their main business plan? You are Dunzo, you use the service of one person to deliver something from point A to point B. It can be anything. It's literally trying to get something done via a human, like a person or a medium between you and what you need to get done. So that's the business plan, right, for Dunzo. So who's the client becomes Dunzo. The product or service, again, is getting a task done. It's a task master. It gets done. Task is from point A to point B. Who is the competition? Back in the day, there was nobody. Now we have a Swiggy Genie. We have one more that I recently heard of. I'm not sure what it's called, but Swiggy Genie seems to be one competition that they have as of now. Target market, everyone across Bangalore was their target market. And now they've moved to Bombay, they've moved to Delhi. Advertising objective, just to get the point across that they are here, they can get something done for you. Proposition benefit, for all us lazy people out there, or just to save time, the proposition can be a lot. Like they can say that we can get your task done, we can get you groceries, we can get you medicines, we can get you, you've forgotten something in your office, we can go get it for you. You want to give your husband a dabba of food, we can send it to him. You can deliver flowers to your girlfriend, we can deliver it to her. So proposition or benefit can be up teen amounts, and it just depends on how you want to communicate that exact proposition to your client. Tone of voice, that's a really interesting aspect, and honestly this is the first, like again, I learned about tone of voice and why tone of voice is so important very later on in life, at least when it comes to like advertising and brands. A Dunzo will talk to you in a way that he's your pal. He will help you. He will be there for you. It doesn't say, dude, you forgot something. I mean, no, that still sounds very friendly. I'm just going to say it doesn't sound very authoritative. It doesn't sound like, it doesn't be over promising. It does not, it may or may not sound very, strict. You forgot or what? Go and get it and come. It will not sound like condescending that you'll forget, I'll send it to you. They might sound like your friend. Dude, I'll get it done, boss. I think there were a couple of taglines that actually worked back in the day, and I will go back and search for it. I would appreciate if you all search for how it has evolved. But I remember done here, boss, that they were trying to do. Now, if you go to the social media page, it is literally it's always been pally, it's always been friendly. It's something that you can always scroll and like smile at or laugh at any point of time. Some brands that do it really well are Swiggy, are Zomato. They try and like bring in the everyday humor even when you're scrolling through your phones. Tone of voice is that. Advertising budget is again, how much money do they have to communicate this idea? And if, let's say they have money enough to make stills, they would go out and capture photographs of their delivery person going from point A to point B. That's it. That's what my budget allows me for. So we will stick to the execution being photography. Let's say the advertising budget is a little more. they will go into a digital ad, which would be showing a person going from point A to B and delivering something that somebody forgot. That again, that execution becomes film. Now they have a bigger budget. It becomes TV, radio, print. That makes it, the execution ends up being what we see, ends up being a print ad, like on the front page of your Times of India or your Hindustan Times or any other economic times, depending on the audience that they want to reach out. I don't think they would advertise in economic times because that again is a very well-read, very senior most audience. They would perhaps advertise in a Bangalore Mirror or a Times of India, where the target audience is varied between certain age groups. Then your media depends, again, advertising budget in media. Media means where are you going to be showcasing your work and how much money would you be assigning into rolling it out. Like if I have more money on social, how much will I pay on Facebook or on Google AdWords to be like the number one search on your search engines. Google AdWords really works. Like if I were to put that, just Google Dunzo, or I say send something from point A to point B. If Dunzo were to come in like the first search bar, they've done their job. Literally, it's coming to you as a savior in grace, even for people that do not know that the Dunzo exists. Campaign or advertising idea, again, is same. Like I'm from the marketing team of Dunzo. I'm saying that I want to just say that I will get you something from point A to point B. So that becomes how can we script it in a way that will sound like us, will sound like two friends says, dude, I forgot to bring up flowers, and says, bro, just Dunzo it. So that could be the campaign idea, that you have to sound friendly. This is your target audience. Everybody, all the students of CMEDU or the college going students, that becomes my campaign idea. Becomes, I want to target our age group, this age group, not mine, unfortunately, but our age group. And I want to be able to capture their attention and tell them that, yes, I am here to like be Superman and solve all your problems. So that is, I hope you guys got like a little bit of an understanding that by the time it comes to execution, a lot has already taken place. And when I'm coming to a production house or a person with a script, what all has gone on in the background so that we could come to this final execution idea, and what ends up telling audiences about the brand and how it can fulfill a promise or a brand truth. Cool till now?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. I'm just going to show you guys some examples of tone of voice because I find it extremely interesting, and yeah, it would help you just ascertain the kind of brand that might come to you, or any sort of brand should have like a definite tone of voice, because it also ends up leaning towards the kind of way that I would communicate for that brand, or how I would represent that brand if I'm ever making an ad for that brand. If you see this is an example of Starbucks. We have to keep everything in mind. I'm sure if you've been design students or if you've been photography students, you might have an idea of brand, like why a certain brand looks and feels a certain way, why it's universally perceived a certain way. Just a second, I can see something on the chat. Yeah, they have, Sushant. They've made Facebook Watch for Facebook. Yeah. If you see Starbucks, it looks and feels a certain way. If you go to Starbucks anywhere in the world, it would still look the same, because they want to be perceived in a certain way. If you're going to make an ad for Starbucks, I don't think I'm going to go into even color tones, even the treatment note, even color theory matters. I'm going to say why that's important when I come to the treatment note phase. But just so that you get an idea of brand tone. Sometimes, like when I was fairly young, if I had to make an advertisement for like my dad has a sanitary wear showroom. I'm not trying to do influence branding here. I'm just saying I don't think I knew what the brand tone was. I just knew that it was a sanitary wear showroom. We provide many different brands, Jaguar, what do you call it, Kohler, all the toilet type of brands. But I don't think I knew what the brand tone was. Here again, there's an opportunity where you can set it up. You can create a logo. You can create a logo animation. You can create a color tone that would work. You can create, that's again at the inception stage is what they would do, unless somebody wants to go into a complete brand revamp. If this is sounding alien, it's perfectly fine. I'm just trying to say that sometimes many brands come with this already defined, and we have to structure a script or write a script working backwards from here on how they want to sound. This is over. Wait a minute. Again, their design is very set before and after. If you can just see how they've changed their tone of voice. They were using very like their mobile imagery. They were saying you can go from here to there. Now it becomes a lot more like the question of where are you going becomes a lot more spelled out, like where to, Jessica. How this again helps in video, I'll get to it. The best example for that would actually be Old Spice. Any Old Spice, hold on. I love Old Spice ads. We've grown up watching Old Spice ads, and they've stuck a certain way. They've always been there. It's like they're molded. They're stuck in time, but they've never changed their brand tonality. Wherever you go, I'm going to show you 2 advertisements made in 2 different continents, but somehow they have stuck to their brand tone till date. This is an example.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Now we come to our favorite, at least growing up favorite.
Hello. Hello, ladies.
Actually, Milan Soma.
Hello there. Do I look dangerous? Hello there. Do I look dangerous? I am dangerous. But I'm also a caring, sensitive, and devastatingly good-looking man. Look at me. Or even better, look at my dream. This part is reserved for that special Malabar fish curry recipe I make on a leisurely Sunday afternoon. It's great. Here I store my solo Carnatic music performances just to entertain myself. And this is where I store my shock and awe chess moves to inflict incredible shock and awe. But the most vital part of my brain is the part that generates complex neurological signals telling me that I'm not me when I don't smell of Old Spice deodorant. Thank you, because only Old Spice deodorant has all the ingredients that make me an all-conquering, sophisticated, and fantastic man. So fantastic, in fact, even James Bond calls me for advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lady to read some poetry to. And yes, I wrote it.
Any similarities that you guys saw in both the advertisements? Anybody?
Yeah, both advertisements are basically saying if you use this, you get more confidence and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So-
and I think like even if they were made differently or somewhere else, the structure of it remains the same. There is a man. He's going to talk about the benefits of Old Spice. He's going to have very witty lines. He's going to smart. He's going to sound really smart and dashing at the same time. And even the kind of model or character that they've chosen, well chiseled, great body. I mean, the ideal kind of body that they want to show, the kind of users that they're trying to attract, or the kind of like audience that they're trying to attract. The only difference I found is that somehow in India we end up using a woman also in the ad. Sometimes they do not in other Old Spice ads outside of India. Maybe there's an allure, and they might have done a lot of market study to say that yes, putting a woman actually has a lot more like eyes on this kind of an advertisement. So that's basically an idea of tone of voice. I can move on to the next part of what I wanted to get to.
Hello there.
So yeah, this is just again an example of some of the brand voice. Are you funny? Are you serious? Kind of a tone. Gecko, CNN. Gecko is funny, CNN is serious, Eminem is casual, Jack Daniels is formal. Sassy to respectful, Rolex watches, Red Bull enthusiastic, talking about like energy and Red Bull giving you wings. UBS is matter of fact. Giving you wings is obviously very dreams on, but yeah, sometimes they try to allure you with the magical and non-realism zone. How many of you have ever had the chance to write scripts for advertising or have written scripts in general? You can just say I or ye or something.
I have not completed a script, but I'm working on it.
So these are like scripts for films
Yeah,
or
yeah, film
for-
scripts.
Okay. Film scripts, I think I went the cheap way. I went to Celtex first, and then I tried to then did final draft. Somehow, advertising scripts are way easier. You can just write them on your Word doc, or you can just write them on your Excel sheet also if needed, because the format is very, very simple. Literally visual, audio. What is going to be the visual that you want to see? What is the audio that you're going to perceive or hear or have voiceover? This is just an example. Again, advertisements are very time bound. So the more you put like a short length or the length of a part in your script, the better. So you know exactly how much time you're going to be spending on a specific shot or a specific take or a specific the way that a shot will be carried out. So, in 80% of the time, if you are a production house, you are going to get the script first time, exactly like this also, or like even in a Google Slides format, which is literally person A, person B, person A says so and so words, person B says so and so. Then it goes into a conversation mode, and then you have your product window at the end. So this is just an example, and you can write it anywhere in your on Microsoft documents. I would suggest if you're going to be collaborating with several people, that's how the nature of filmmaking is. You do it on Google Docs, it becomes a lot more collaborative, and you can make changes on the fly. That's just my personal point of view. Any doubts on like this format? Have you tried doing this on any of your short films or any of your any other like short format work? Nidad?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, some of our film assignments.
Solving for film assignments. Yeah, because it's a fairly easy thing to do. This is my visual. This is what I'm going to be seeing on screen or your screenplay, and this is the audio or voiceover or dialogue. Audio can also be replaced for dialogue here, by the way. This is the dialogue that will be said on screen by this person. Now, just I'm going to just give a broad outline of how a script would come to you. It would come to you as a spec sheet. I'm going to see if I have a sample here. That I can share. No, doesn't matter. I'm just going to refer to it. Don't mind me. Because I ideally cannot share this, but yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm just going to tell you from a point of view that I am the agency. An agency is the ones who represents brands. Brands can also come to you directly, but ideally it comes via an agency because they have the creative resources, that is a copywriter, the one who writes the scripts. They have an art director who designs the brand voice and brand logos, designs, product window, where you see like, sorry, you see the product and the messaging. That's called a product window. And so that's not the only job of an art director, but literally that's a very crucial job to maintain this tone of voice throughout all their messaging. Copywriter also does the same thing. They talk the way that the brand does. And someone like me who would be executing the ad from the side of the brand. I come to you. You are the production house. You get like a sheet. Since this was going to be a very this session that we are having right now was supposed to be more about how does an advertisement even come to a filmmaker or a filmmaking house. I'm going to just give you a basic idea. So this is, you get the sheet which says that the brand is Dunzo. The campaign name is A to B with Dunzo. Who is in charge, who is the brand, who is going to be your liaison will be like, who are you going to be dealing with directly from the brand side will be me. What is the budget? It would be an amount, let's say 10 lakh rupees for one advertisement. What is the date that you would prefer a meeting one-on-one with you, the production house and the brand? I would say that the date is, if you guys are writing this down, nothing like it, because I can't actually share this because it's completely populated with an actual brand. But yes, what would be the date that you would appreciate a meeting with me and the production house? I would say day after tomorrow, let's say the 20th. What is the duration of the main film? I'd say 1 minute, flat 1 minute duration. Any adapts meaning any cut downs of this ad. Do you need a 30 seconder of the same ad of the 1 minute, or do you need a 15 seconder? Do you just need something which is going to be a story or a reel on Instagram of the same ad? That also needs to be mentioned as to how many cuts or edits you will have for this one advertisement. Then you go to the rights that you need. I only need digital rights. A lot of films that are getting made right now, and I'm sure when you are scrolling on your Instagram or Facebook, you will see that most of these are made for digital. So the kind of rights I need, I need for digital only. If it was going to be on a television, if my ad was going to be on television, I would have said I need TV and digital rights. Here, I would just say digital rights because that's mostly what is happening at the moment. Because television is extremely expensive to advertise in. That again comes under the umbrella of media. So how much money do we have how much money do we have to spend in media means, can we actually afford a TV spot? I can give you a general idea of rates. Right now, IPL is going to start on Sunday or Monday? Monday, right? So
Sunday,
if-
19th.
Yes, Sunday. So IPL is going to start on Sunday. A 6-second or like literally that ad that is going to play while somebody is bowling. It's a really stupid, ill-timed ad because you don't know if you're going to watch somebody bowl or if you're going to watch some 2-seconder ad. But that itself is like 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs. And the number depends. Each spot could be that much. But if I do the same thing on Instagram or Facebook, if with an IPL, with Virat Kohli's, now you have ads. Now with Virat Kohli's story, if I put like 2 to 3 seconder of a non-skippable ad, I'm only going to be spending like quarter or like nothing. It's going to be literally 10,000 or 5,000 rupees per spot max. So I'm sure if anybody here is a creator, you might know how much it takes to boost a story. That's exactly literally that into a certain amount that a brand would be charging or paying for a spot on digital. So that's how important, like that's how easy it is to advertise on digital. Unless you're not making something profane, please don't make something profane. Then you get flagged and put down. Perpetuity means for how long do you need the rights? I am obviously a service provider. I am an agency, you are the production house. I want this ad to be mine. I'm paying for it for life. You can't say that 1 year later, I can't play this ad later. So I'm going to be asking for a rate card based on perpetuity, which is forever. This ad is going to be mine or this brand's. Dunzo is going to say, you've made it, I get to use it, come what may, forever and ever. Sushant, who's a music producer, would never tell you to give rights away for perpetuity because you don't know how or when it could go viral or it could be loved by so many that you get to make more spin-offs of something like that. So perpetuity really matters when you're giving away your services as any kind of a creative person. Sushant, you want to weigh in here? At any point, you can. Going down to language dubs, again, is this ad made by Dunzo going to be in Kannada? Is it going to be in Tamil? Is it going to be Malayalam, Hindi, and English? Or do you just want it in English? So how many languages are you going to make? Are you going to dub it in different languages? Are you going to cast different characters for different languages? All of that needs to be sounded off very early. Then it becomes, does it need subtitles? Yes. Casting, does it need? Yes. Does it have cast? Are you going to cast it with known or popular actors? It can be yes or no. This you need to know because most of the time it's the brand's prerogative. Let's say I am working with Shah Rukh Khan. I will deal with Shah Rukh Khan myself. I will tell production house that you have to just be ready on the day that Shah Rukh comes on set and he shoots. It might be a lot to take in, but I'm just giving you an idea of how much goes into planning an advertisement and at what stage does it come to you. And it comes with a big spec sheet which tells you what the requirements are to shoot this ad. So the requirements will be the budget, just again broadly summarizing, it would be what is our budget to spend on this ad. So what is our budget? What is the brand? What is the date it needs to go live? How many deliverables are there? They call it deliverables. It's literally 30 seconder, 60 seconder, 15 seconder, 10 seconder. those, what medium is it going on? Medium matters. Is it going to be on TV? Is it going to be on digital? And then it goes on to what kind of music and what kind of rights you need. Music, again, is it going to be produced? Are you going to be using a brand song or a brand tune or a brand jingle? And that's it. So that you can again get from the brand, unless you want to just do ADR and just get dialogues done, and then music and packaging you can take from the brand and package it completely. So that's a basic idea of the kind of format a script comes to you from any brand for an advertisement. All clear? Any doubts? Anything that you think I might have missed out on? Just so that you can make you get an idea of what is needed when you are going, what you will be told when you are given an ad to execute.
Ma'am, I have a question related to the background music of advertisement. Does the brand always provide it, or if sometime the brand doesn't provide it, then where should the staff take it from?
There are many. So I can give you from personal experience. We have done a wide range. We've done the Audio Jungle, which is Premium Beats, Audio Jungle, Envato. We have picked up music that is fairly cheap to use. Like maximum we would have used for a digital advertisement for Instagram, we would have used something for $60, $20, $30. Otherwise, you have YouTube Audio Library, which is free. So YouTube Audio Library is something that, because of the higher churn rate of advertising on digital, many companies that almost release like a story or a post on a daily, they end up just using YouTube Audio Library. You have to be safe when you're using stuff for digital, because you don't want that ad to be flagged for not buying the rights or buying the track. So you can't just pick it up from somewhere that you liked it, because that ad, your hard work, can just get pulled music rights situation on social media platforms.
Yes, ma'am. Regarding that only, like if we buy a certain audio track from the site, then does it like we have owned the rights for the lifetime, or is it
No.
for a specific time?
It's a specific time. You have to go through the legal guidelines when you're buying the track. It's a small like copyrights claims, or do you have to give attribution to the artist? That it is written in fine print as to how you can use that one track, and for how long can you use that one track, and what type of usage you have to explain also to the person that you're taking the track from. That's why we try and be safe and get everything from YouTube Audio Library. If the genre of music matches the eventual film or video that we are putting out.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you have to read that fine print, otherwise you don't want it to get flagged. So I hope you try not to get it flagged. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Aspect ratios is something I forgot. So that again, you have to be very careful while shooting, because is it a 1:1? Is it a story format 9:16? Is it a post format? Is it 4:5? Is it going to be 16:9? Again, that needs to be cleared out at the very get-go, because imagine you have to make a film that where your protagonist is standing on the left side of the frame completely there, and suddenly they say the entire ad is going to be 1:1. I'm not sure if you can even center him, and like how much will you crop to make that person 1:1, right? You'll lose a lot of data or a lot of the footage to that little note, which is the kind of ratio that the film was meant to be. So ratios matter when it comes to digital and for TV, any format. So knowing the platform that it's going to be on is very important, so that you can cater the video to that platform. Has anyone made anything here for Instagram or Facebook? And have you ever had an issue with ratios? Or
I made a story like for album release, I think, and I mean I knew in advance that it's supposed to be a story, so it wasn't an issue.
That's great. Yeah. So just keep in mind what you're going to be making it for eventually, so that you can always make it cater to that platform. Cool. Okay. Now, just telling, okay, you've gotten a spec sheet from me. I am the brand. I'm going to be saying that, please make me an ad for Dunzo. This is the storyline: a guy and a girl going out on a date, and he forgot the engagement. He's going to be proposing to her tonight, and he forgot the engagement ring. Now you make an ad around it. What most brands do is that they ask the agency to find 3 production houses minimum. So you're always going to be in competition with another production house. And I'm telling you, like, bigger categories. So how do you stand out? How do you stand out, and how do you what makes you stand out from other directors? What makes you stand out as another service provider to create or make this ad? That literally comes down to your treatment note. What is in a treatment note? I shall share it with you. I'm not going to give you a visual, but literally a director's treatment is what bridges the gap between your idea and your client's script, or it's a very vital piece of information that sets expectations visually for anyone. You would say that you can either go in with a storyboard, you can go with a treatment note, which is like a written treatment note, which says that it will be a rainy day, it will be extremely romantic, they will be sitting outside, there's rain, inside it's a very cozy restaurant, there will be candlelight, the lighting will be a certain way, you'll put reference images of the lighting, you will make sure that she's wearing a red dress, she's looking more beautiful than ever, that he's also used to seeing. Any small details, right, starts painting a picture in someone's mind that is going to look a certain way. You will see that he's wearing a coat, he opens his coat and he starts checking his flap, and then he realizes that something is missing. Cut to. So, I mean, it's just a treatment note. The premise was literally a guy and a girl go on a date. He forgets the ring. He calls Dunzo. The guy comes with the ring. That's it. But a treatment note can be so fleshed out that you can paint a picture that will be so exclusive to how you're thinking this play out, that it can make or break your visual from anyone else's. So I can completely open this forum. Anyone wants to pitch in an idea of how you would just treat this situation, or how you would pitch this to someone. Sometimes all you have is called the elevator theory. You have 6 minutes or 3 minutes max to talk to a brand or talk to a producer on how you are visualizing this story play out. Anyone wants to try? There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to see that, visually you might be thinking sun, moon, sky can happen. They can even be in space, or they can be in a cozy, what do you call it, inside a car watching a film in a open theater. It can be anything. Anyone wants to try? Please try. Sushant, anyone? Who's shy? Guys?
Ma'am, what was the topic again?
The topic is, how would you treat this film? The film, the idea is that it's a date. 2 people are on a date. He's going to propose to her and he forgets his ring, and he calls Dunzo. And Dunzo comes and delivers the ring. And then you have a product window that says, no matter what, we got your back. That's it.
So the brand is a delivery service.
Yeah, it's a delivery service. But we can paint the treatment note literally would be how do you imagine this play out, play by play, scene by scene, setup by setup? And that can be your differentiator between any other like person who's pitching to create or produce this ad. You want to try, Shivansh?
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Even a reference would do, a reference film for mood, lighting, a reference photograph. Pinterest is great. Instagram is great. You could get reference images of what she would be wearing. What would the costume be? Who would be the cast? Who would be the male, female protagonist? Maybe, what do you call it? What else? What the setup would look like? What is the restaurant looking like? Is it crowded? Sorry, is it not crowded? All of that can be your treatment note.
I'm on a beach.
Yeah, cool. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, ma'am, like this scene is on a beach where there is a campfire on the side and kind of dining in the middle of nowhere. So it's just the dining visible and just the ocean behind it. And at that time, it's like he forgot the ring. And so now he's like in a lot of tension, like he's in the middle of nowhere and how to get it. So like there the man delivers him and it's like they deliver it anywhere and they support, like it can be idea.
That's a great take on it, because what again comes out of your treatment is that wherever you are, back of beyond, not even reachable, a dunzo will come and deliver it to you. So yeah, that's a great take on that one-liner script that I just said.
How much time do we have to execute this?
In life or
no, like how long is it supposed to be that?
Yeah,
how many
like
minutes?
30 seconds.
Oh shit, that's nothing.
That's not nothing. So many things have been said in 30 seconds. And that literally, like what they say nowadays is very scary, but it's actually true. We have an attention span of less than like 3 seconds. If you don't find it interesting, all you're going to do is scroll up, scroll down, and or like disappear from that site. So yeah, I will go back to the presentation. The next part is, so that was your treatment note. I just want to write down is great. I'm just going to show you an example of the first ever ad, or I don't think it's the first ad, but it's one of the most groundbreaking, path-breaking ad that Apple had made. The reference is very clear, but you will see the reference after I show the film. So you can use a reference when you're trying to talk about your treatment note. Here you go. Has anyone seen this ad by Apple?
Don't think so.
No, man.
It was made in 1984 or 85. And it literally like started like a string. I mean, okay, I won't talk about it. No spoilers. Watch it.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification methods. Created for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, forbidding contradictory thoughts. Creation's laws is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will rally them with their own confusion.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
So George Orwell is a very distinguished writer. He's written the book 1984. And it's a very dystopian take on what the world could be if it was under like a strict regime. The reference was the film, which was George Orwell's 1984. Just see this, it's a small trailer. I'll just go to the part which is very similar to how they've managed to treat this ad.
As we all know, biological and social stimulation of the family leads to private reflection outside party meetings.
You stop.
Unorthodox loyalties which can only lead to thought crime. And there is
Yeah, did you see some similarity there? In just the short taking, it was very similar to how George Orwell's 1984 was shown. You would not allowed to have like your own thought, but what the whole premise of George Orwell's 1984 is like, if you were to have your own thought, it was called a thought crime. And what Apple managed to do is say, think different, right? That's their brand guide, like brand logo. So thinking different is no longer a crime. It's almost paying dues to that. So that's one example of a treatment where I'm sure that the director or whoever had made this ad went and said that we're going to be giving an ode to 1984 and why Macintosh is going to be very different from like what 1984 was about. A storyboard, again, treatment note can have a storyboard. This, I'm moving on to like when you're going to the, from pre-production is your treatment note stage. Suppose your treatment note, sorry, whose idea was the beach one?
Prem.
Prem.
Prem, yeah, Prem. If your beach idea has hit home, it is great. We can do it. What you have to do eventually, obviously, when you get your advances and your clear go-aheads, you would ideally put it into a storyboard format. You would say that scene A to scene 10, or like you've done the audio visual script, right? That would be something that you already got. Now you cut it down to a storyboard only to see that how much time would you need for each setup. Because again, ads are really fast. You don't have, if it doesn't fit in this much time, you would already have like your sirens should start playing in your head that this is not going to fit in 30 seconds. So what happens, what I've actually found easy is you just take like a voice recording of the entire script. That will actually give you an idea of what the duration of the film is going to be. If it's not going to fit in 30 seconds, then you alert your copywriter saying that my audio recording is going beyond 30 seconds. Can you cut down on some lines? Or is there going to be a pause somewhere if in the actor saying the line, or not in the actor giving a pause and a reaction to the act, like your character? An audio note helps. A storyboard helps to just see for your entire cast and crew to know that they are on the same page as you. This is how you imagine it. That a guy and a girl, first frame, exterior, wide shot, beach. Zoom in, track shot, boy and girl romantic like setup, sitting in the grass, sitting on chair, table, just on a beach towel, whatever matters. So all of this starts getting broken down to your requirements. What is the requirement for art? What is the requirement for casting? What is the requirement for what is your requirement for your production? What is the requirement for lighting? What if you're shooting this in nowhere close to a beach? You're actually shooting this on a set. We have amazing technology at the moment. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but Unreal Engine. Anyone aware of Unreal Engine?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, people are using Unreal Engine to just recreate a backdrop or a setup. They've done it beautifully in Mandalorian, where they have not even gone to a location, but they've recreated it in post, obviously with a lot of images that they have sourced of the actual place or for video footage of the actual place. But you don't need to take an entire crew, travel, boarding, lodging, all of that. You're cutting down on all those expenses. All you're both doing is putting a massive LED screen and you're trying to recreate the environment in post. That's it. If I've summed it up right, that is also a possibility now. So yeah, so just all of these small things in storyboard format can give us plethora of data and information that the entire crew can be on the same page and be like, this is what we need. We need a girl, she'll be wearing this clothes, costume will be sorted, styling is sorted. Styling means the overall look and feel. Styling also matters. You know why? Because like I said, brand tone of voice, if it's Dunzo, they might look like you and me. If it's Swiggy, sorry, if it is going to be, let's say an advertisement for Tiffany, this crazy uber expensive jewelry brand. What if it was Tiffany? She would be wearing a long flowy gown. If it was Dunzo, she would be wearing a very, I don't know, she'd be like a rocker chick maybe, or a very girl next door look. So that again matters on the kind of target audience I am catering to. That's why a target audience would like to see Naomi Campbell or Naomi Watts in perfume ads, and why do they have to look so exclusive and exuberant in some ads? Because that's exactly the target audience they are trying to capture. So that's the kind of want that you want to generate in people when they're thinking about like a certain look and feel. So I hope like a basic storyboard is literally to align your entire crew, your crew that is going to be your backbone, to help deliver like Prem's idea that this is how exactly he saw it. This is the kind of lighting. My DOP is in sync. My actors are in sync. My costume and styling is in sync. My what do you call it? Shot taking is in sync. Is it going to be smooth shots? Is it going to be cut, and then Dunzo comes in like with what kind of music? Does Dunzo come in with like one what do you call the savior music, like ta-da, like halo around his head? All of that again depends on how Prem thought, like, you know, how we could treat this advertisement. Any doubts? Anything that you think that we should also have in a storyboard that will help align everybody?
मैम आई वांट टू आस्क कि ये जो स्टोरी बोर्ड होता है स्क्रीन प्ले से डिफरेंट होता है क्या?
स्टोरी बोर्ड इज लिटरली नहीं, स्क्रीन प्ले रिटन होता है. स्टोरी बोर्ड ऐसा होता है कि आपके डीओपी और आपके एडिटर को मालूम होता है कि कौन से शॉट में मैं कहाँ से पिकअप करूँ, कौन से शॉट पे जाऊँ. Screenplay is also literally that, but it's mostly in a written format. And storyboard is drawn out. You don't need to actually draw it. You can get a storyboard artist, or if you can team up with the right kind of crew and people, they can draw it for you. A storyboard just helps you manage your shots. Shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. Because when you're shooting in the day, when you move, I'm sure you've all shot some format or the other of a film. You will know that what shot takes how much time to set up. My wide shot, all my lighting will have to be like towards what? My close up will have to be, I'll take all the shots of the girl in close up in that one angle. Then I'll move to the next angle because your lighting, your shot taking, your angle, just positioning lighting and even person takes time. How do I manage to get all of this in one day? What if you have only 6 hours? I mean, you never do, you have at least one shift. But in one shift, how much can I achieve? And how many shots I need to take? Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to schedule your day in a way that is the most productive format, with breaks, with lunch, with changing time for actors, makeup and hairstyling for actors accounted for. So a storyboard is literally to help you manage your day. A screenplay is literally how it would, screenplay is something that the storyboard artist will use to create the storyboard.
Thank you, ma'am.
Cool. Okay. This is just again another idea of a storyboard. This is again how you can use storyboard to your advantage. You can move around shots and be like, oh, actually I can move this shot to here, because that will, it just gives you like a visual idea of how you can make your film script better. Cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I actually found a storyboard for this, but I forgot to attach it here. I have it here in a book. I'll show you guys after this call. But now I'm just going to, like, since we're towards the end, I'm just going to show you a couple of ads that I've liked in life and have somehow, even if they're long format or 30 seconds or for digital, they've managed to still make an impact till date. Check it out.
Shut it. Here's a true story about a young lad named John. Just a local farm boy. There was something special about the lad. A glint in his eye, a fire in his belly, a spring in his step. And one day, he went for a walk. Now this walk began when his father died. The year was 1819, and he was just 14 years old. Bereavement counselling. Well, these were the days when young boys were sent into the fields, the mills, the mines, tough times. But young John was smart enough to be lucky. His father's farm, where he was born and raised, was sold. The proceeds used to open a grocer's. Big responsibility for the wee lad. His own shop in Kilmarnock, with his name on the door, John Walker. Or Johnny, as the world now knows him. Back then, all grocers stocked a range of local single malts, but they could be a wee bit inconsistent. For John, that wasn't good enough. He began blending different malts together as a way of offering his customers a consistent, unique product. Now this backroom art quickly developed into a commercial proposition, and a very profitable one. And because there's nothing like a commercial proposition to stir the Scottish heart, it grew quickly into an industry filled with ambitious entrepreneurial distillers. John thrived in this environment, and so too soon with his sons, Robert and Alexander, who joined him on his journey. The Walkers became the biggest name in a rapidly growing industry. They were unstoppable. In one bold bit of 19th century corporate raiding, he bought the famed distillery at Cardew, lock, stock, and ensuring their supply of this silky single malt, and guaranteeing, more importantly, that none of the other big blenders could get their hands on it. But young Alexander wasn't content with being Scotland's biggest blender, not ambitious enough for him. No. He convinced the ship's captains of Glasgow to act as agents for him, and drove the whiskey bearing his father's name across the globe. By 1860, he had developed the square bottle, Now, with a label at an angle of precisely 24 degrees. No big deal, you might think, but you'd be wrong. The square bottle meant less breakages and more bottles per ship. The diagonal label meant larger type. Together, that meant Johnnie Walker had unmistakable presence on any shelf in the world. The bottle became an icon, and the rich liquid it contained sought after and consumed across the globe. Quite a character, Alexander Walker. Master of the blender's art, ambitious, uncompromising. It was John's grandsons, George and Alexander II's job to join him in this journey. They led the brand into the 20th century. By 1909, they had developed the iconic red label and black label and persuaded Tom Brown, the best young illustrator of the day, to sketch a striding man in a napkin during a business lunch. In the stroke of a pen, the Victorian grocer was transformed into an Edwardian den. By 1920, Johnny's walk had taken him through 120 countries, and he continued walking through the brand's advertising over the next 50 years, into the fabric of global culture, deep into the dark hearts of several wars, to the pleasure palaces of the aristocracy, immortalized by screen legends, celebrated by filmmakers, singers, songwriters, novelists, shoulder to shoulder with the great sportsmen. Winning countless international awards for quality, and even being awarded the Royal Warrant by King George V. No going back after that. Not that going back would even have occurred to Johnny or any of his family. By the end of the 20th century, the familiar red label and black label were joined by the green label, the gold label, and the grandest of them all, Johnnie Walker Blue Label. By the beginning of the 21st century, Johnnie Walker wasn't just the world's biggest whiskey brand, but an international symbol of progress. The brand's keep walking mantra, adopted by pro-democracy protesters and parliamentary speechwriters. What would the farm-born Victorian grocer have thought of all of this? He'd have loved it. A Victorian farm-born grocer he might have been, but he and the family that followed him were possessed by a fiery ambition with the skill and intelligence to match. 200 years later, and Johnnie Walker's still walking, and he's not showing any signs of stopping.
Yeah, I mean, after this, there's credits, but really like this ad a lot because what it ended up doing was path-breaking of its time. Everything was done in a take. It got literally 5 minutes, 35 seconds to do it. Little backstory of how it was made, very fascinating, is this. This is what the director said, that it was the second day that on the last take is when they actually got it perfectly right. So your treatment can be anything, but what they wanted to stick to is the walker, the keep walking. They told the entire history of the brand as it is without like fabricating nothing. And they just managed to tell the brand story. Keep walking became a very an iconic symbol. It was already an iconic symbol, but they actually showed it to say it. You guys feel anything about this ad?
Love the cinematography. It's pretty good.
It's
And ma'am, acting too. Like जिस तरीके से वो 5 मिनट से भी ज्यादा बोलना, उसके लिए हमें वक्त देना पड़ता है, वो पूरे डायलॉग्स याद रखना, और वो जिस स्पॉट पे जाके एक्शन करना है वो वर्ड टाइमिंग उस जगह पे ही निकले, उसके पहले अगर वॉकिंग निकल आता है तो फिर वो गलत हो सकता है, और 40th टेक तक वो एनर्जी मेंटेन करना दूसरे दिन, तो हिज फाइनेस्ट एक्टर, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगा एक्टिंग बहुत कमाल की.
Exactly. I mean, it was all thought out. They had 2 days to do it. And literally the last take is when they did it. If you go read up a little bit more about it, it's very fascinating on how they got it done, but giving up was not an option, I guess. So they did it. He said that again from the same director. He said 10 years, looking back 10 years later, the lesson a spot like this will teach you is that if you find the right story, telling it in the best, and you need to see that how you could tell it in the best way possible. So your Dunzo idea is a way that you found a story, but how you told it matters, or how you could make it iconic also matters. Some advertisements, obviously, you don't have to be so flowery, like eyed about it. I mean, we do live in a capitalist world where everything needs to be sold, people need to earn. But sometimes when you add that little bit of humor, a little bit of like your own touch, it can make or break, like it can be something that's memorable. This again, just showing it to you guys because in just doing this much, it became quite a thing for the next 2 years, as per what the brand says, after releasing this film.
Hello? Yo, what's up? Nothing, G. Just watching the game, having a bud. So about you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? What's up? Yo, what's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie. Yo. What's up? What's that? Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True.
This was adapted to the Scream parody as well. It was hilarious. I remember me and my friends used to do it a lot in school.
You guys used to do it. See, I mean, you don't know where it just actually came out of, but it became a trend. And back then also, I mean, actually back then was like quite trend setting. If you can actually set a trend, it's quite cool. I remember Fido Dido, the ads from Sprite, Mirinda. 7-Up, sorry, Fido Dido 7-Up. The guy with like a curly hair. Okay, might be a different generation, but still.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Something became like a, wow, what do you call it? Iconic piece. So this is what the brand had to say back then. It became part of everyday language all over the world. You can count the number on your hands, the number of ads that have done that. It became a campaign that knew its target audience. It's Budweiser. You're treating it very casually. This is what boys do. They just call each other. Boys actually do this really well compared to women, but they can just call each other and be like, talk about nothing. So that somehow it captured that truth, human truth in the ad really well. If there is a chance of doing that, if you can actually put a cup of coffee and show a moment in like your lives, if you get inspired by your life where you're doing something and you feel like, oh, I can actually just use this coffee to recreate this moment in time, you can actually go up to a brand and be like, dude, I can shoot this really well. And what I'm trying to say is that you can find a human truth in everyday moments and feel like you can put an ad or a product there, and somehow it might become a trend. And you have captured something which is like an everyday thing, but with a brand associated to it. Then there are some ads which again become very, Dove has been doing this for quite some time. They have a very unique way of like showing their ads about inner beauty and everything. So this is one thing that I really liked. It makes you think.
I'm a forensic artist. Worked for the San Jose Police Department from 1995 to 2011.
I showed up to a place I'd never been, and there was a guy with a drafting board. We couldn't see them, they couldn't see us.
Tell me about your hair.
I didn't know what he was doing, but then I could tell after several questions that he was drawing me.
Tell me about your chin.
It kind of protrudes a little bit, especially when I smile.
Your jaw.
My mom told me I had a big jaw.
What would be your most prominent feature?
Kind of have a fat, rounder face.
The older I've gotten, the more freckles I've gotten.
I would say I have a pretty big forehead.
Once I get a sketch, I say thank you very much, and then they leave. I don't see them.
All I had been told before the sketch was to get friendly with this other woman, Chloe.
Today I'm going to ask you some questions about a person you met earlier, and I'm going to ask you some general questions about their face.
She was thin, so you could see her cheekbones. And her chin, it was a nice, thin chin.
She had nice eyes. They lit up when she spoke.
Cute nose.
She had blue eyes, very nice blue eyes.
So here we are. This is the sketch that you helped me create. And that's a sketch that somebody described of you.
So yeah, that's... She looks closed off and fatter, sadder too. The second one looks more open, friendly, and happy. I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we apply for, how we treat our children. It impacts everything. Couldn't be more critical to your happiness.
Do you think you're more beautiful than you say?
Yeah. Yeah. We spend a lot of time as women analyzing and trying to fix the things that aren't quite right. We should spend more time appreciating the things that we do like.
So again, like the other two ads, this was not really about go buy Dove, but it was trying to capture like a moment which you may relate to, a consumer might relate to, might get drawn in and feel like they are talking about a very real thing and this happens. And
They had this and they were using those stupid testimonial ads. What is wrong with them?
I know, this actually worked out very well for them. This is just a note from their marketer.
It had to have worked well. It's
Yeah.
crazy good.
They said, would I say it changed the world? They said, no. Would I say it had an impact? Yes. It doesn't have to change the world. It just needs to have like a sort of impact that, you feel for your inner beauty, your real beauty, your natural beauty, and you try to embrace who you are. And that's how Dove has been talking to us for years. They just say that they don't have like highly Photoshop models. They have very real women, real people who are just like the spokespersons for the brand. Yeah. This is again another ad from Apple, and this is exactly like the first time they said thing different. But just I love it for the writing.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
So yeah, that's Apple with its fantastic writing that has only gotten like more better. I don't think it tops this. Nothing tops this one. Just going to show you another advertisement, but see the impact it had to the brand. Right? Hold on. Has anyone seen any of the stuff that I'm showing you, or have you seen it? Have you seen this?
I've seen the previous Apple ad.
Cool. Check this out.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Stay that way. Because what non-believers fail to understand is that calling a dream crazy is not an insult. It's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest runner in your school or the fastest in the world. Be the fastest ever. Don't picture yourself wearing OBJ's jersey. Picture OBJ wearing yours. Don't settle for homecoming queen or linebacker. Do both. Lose 120 pounds and become an Ironman after beating a brain tumor. Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody. If you're born a refugee, don't let it stop you from playing soccer for the national team at age 16. Don't become the best basketball player on the planet. Be bigger than basketball. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. When they talk about the greatest team in the history of the sport, make sure it's your team. If you have only one hand, don't just watch football. Play at the highest level. And if you're a girl from Compton, don't just become a tennis player. Become the greatest athlete ever. Yeah, that's more like it. So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
I think everyone here knows Just Do It, but the way they try to like write the stories around this Just Do It while using real people, I mean real situations, is like really good. Case studies is something I would love for you guys to go back and find, because case studies tell you how a certain brand tried to put an entire campaign together. So this is the case study for this Dream Crazy campaign that Nike did. The same ad that you saw, this is an entire case study of how the entire campaign rolled out and what was its impact to Nike, the brand.
Several people posting videos burning Nike shoes.
Nike is running straight into a political controversy.
People are so angry they're burning their own shoes.
Colin Kaepernick refused to stand during the national anthem, taking a knee to protest police brutality.
Nike revealed Colin Kaepernick as the face of its latest marketing campaign.
Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Is Nike taking a risk?
I think they're taking a stand.
Tonight, the first game of the new season, and Nike is running an ad featuring Colin Kaepernick.
If people say your dreams are crazy, good. Stay that way.
Los
across this country was talking about this last night at their dinner table.
And I'm never buying another Nike product again.
Nike stock today dropping 3%.
Who's going to win this cultural showdown of standing for the anthem? Check this out. I went out today and bought me some Nike stock.
I want to applaud Nike. Speak up. We're right behind you.
This thing is bigger than just the United States, and I think it resonates throughout the world.
Kaepernick assegura que
これ
eso
カバニッチを起用しましたが、30代のですね、Just do it.
Nike stock reached an all-time high last Friday.
I'm gonna buy more Nikes now.
Nike's on the right side of history.
So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
Several into
So yeah, you can rub off people with the wrong kind of, I mean, if it's not taken the right way, because we live in a very politically sensitive environment. But even taking a stand can work wonders for the brand also. But now it's, other than Nike, I don't think other brands even delve into politics or anything else. But they managed to do it, and they fared very well. Even if they were called out for the wrong reasons at the start, but a lot of people who were pro the stand that they took managed to like increase the sales of Nike. Any thoughts?
Several people
On this? Anybody? And today just marks a very cool day in advertising. Anyone seen what Cadbury's done today?
No, ma'am.
No? So I just found this early in the morning and I was like really blown away. I thought you guys should see it. I grew up watching this ad. I don't know how many of you have seen it, but just see what they've done to this iconic ad.
हम सभी में कुछ बातें हैं हम सभी में बात है खास है कुछ स्वाद है क्या स्वाद है
Cadbury's Dairy Milk, असली स्वाद जिंदगी का.
No. Oh man, I can't increase the size. Just watch it.
कुछ खास है हम सभी में कुछ बात है हम सभी में बात है खास है कुछ स्वाद है क्या स्वाद
Cadbury's Dairy Milk.
Yep. So they basically recreated the entire ad for the women's cricket team today. Yeah. So yeah, that brings an end to my session today. I just thought that I hope it was a bit knowledgeable or insightful of how an advertisement even comes to you, what you need to do, what happens like in real time, and how these things get made. A lot of thought goes behind it. I would love for you guys to read up on it if you're interested ever. But yeah, if you have any doubts, happy to answer anything.
I would like to go back and like pitch the treatment for the Tanzo ad.
You want to? Okay, go ahead.
So what I do is I like there's a girl and a guy going for a walk,
Yeah.
and then they're like, it's more about the scenery. So they're in a, I don't know, they're in a field or something. They're walking, and then the girl feels cold. The guy is shown, and like he is like, oh no. And then what happens is there's moon above them, and the clouds go over the moon. So he opens the Dunzo app, and he clicks, and then the moment the clouds go away, like the Dunzo guy comes, and it's like the Flash guy, because Dunzo has like a bolt in its character. So like it comes like a flash by the moment by the time the clouds go like move over, and like he brings a blanket, and like they share a blanket.
Yeah, very cool. This is great. I mean, it at least gives you like a visual idea. What you would obviously do is you've imagined it, you would actually couple it with a lot of visual cues, so that a lot of people are not visually, like they don't think cinematic, like with like pictures and moving pictures. So this really helps them just envision what your idea is, how you want to treat it. You've timed it completely with this, like the
Yeah,
cloud
exactly.
moving
30
up,
seconds.
flash coming in. So yeah, you get a script, you figure out how you would play this out play by play, and then you carry it out with your crew and cast in a timely way. Sometimes you get a day. That's the only thing about advertising. You just get a day or 2 days, and that's it. And post is literally 2 to 3 days or 4 days for first cut. I didn't get to the post process, but yeah, it's very cut to cut compared to films. But yes, it's still engaging, it's still challenging, and that's what I'm doing. And I hope I could give you guys an idea.
So how do you get started? Say I want to get into the game. How do I get in?
You,
As a
I
beginner.
don't know which year you guys are in.
We're all in third year, I think.
Oh, cool. Okay, so third year is
Some of us are in second year.
Second year, okay. I would say you try and get as much experience on the ground. If you can be an AD to a director, if you're thinking direction side, if you're thinking like writing side, you would actually work with an agency as a copywriter. If you're thinking as a production house, then you would be, if you're thinking as a director, depends what role you want. I am a producer, so I see it from when it's a script to when I get the final delivery from my production house. So I see it as a full gamut, and I try and butt in whenever I think that it can be done, can be not done. What are you thinking? How are you thinking? How will you do it in a day? All of that stuff. I am like a end-to-end person, but just I would say you can start off as an intern, you can start off on the field, you can approach media houses, you can approach agencies, or you can approach production houses, and you could have a kick-ass reel or create specs meaning like a treatment note or a video, which would be a show reel of sorts, and you take it from there. But yeah,
right.
Many opportunity. It's as long as everyone thinks that yes, you are bankable, you are sorted, you are not in over your head. Because at a very young age, people start thinking that I have to make one style of my work. But I would suggest you watch a lot of things. You have a lot of references in your mind, because you can be thrown into any situation and you have to like think for that. Like right now you said Dunzo evening, night. What if I said Dunzo theme park early morning? And you have to like think of what kind of imagery, what kind of colors, what kind of styling, everything. You can't be like a noir guy, you can't be Hitchcock everywhere, and you can't be like suspectful thinking like that. You need to just have some ideas and cues, so that you can always improvise when it comes to art filmmaking, because the situations are so many, because you're trying to recreate real life in any situation.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So thank you guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
If
ma'am.
there's anything, you guys can like just route it via Sushant or college or email ID. I can write it here for you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
1 second. Just drop my mail ID if you have anything you like. If you want to just drop in and just say hello, anything, just feel free to write to me.
Where did you send it?
Here on this chat.
not there.
It's
Oh.
not there, ma'am.
Oh, wait. I think I wrote to Rudraksh. It's just, if you want to, I don't know where I'm writing. Gitika@gmail.com. That's it. U for umbrella. And GEETIKA@gmail.com. Alrighty. Thanks, guys. Bye. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Have a
ma'am.
great day.
Bye.
Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Gitika. It was a very really wonderful session, and I really hope that student will, if your student have any other queries, definitely you can mail to the ma'am. And it was really a wonderful session. We got to know a lot, and we really hope that we will have some another sessions with you in future.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Bye.
Bye.